I hope you're all doing well. I am doing a 60-minute session for Kristi today. I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. This is done at a distance. It's a pre-recorded video session. Kristi is one of my patrons. She's part of my Patreon community, so she's getting a reduced cost session today. If you're interested in checking out my Patreon community, go visit patreon.com/Abbey Normal's Wisdom Quest. I'm also doing individual sessions at my website. You can book them there at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Doing live group experiences, all kinds of stuff happening. So be sure to check out those two places, Patreon and my website. All right, Kristi, thank you so very much for the opportunity to connect with you. Our last session we did live. If you guys are interested in checking that out, I'll put a link in the description. I'm going to read your goals and get started. So you say, for today's session, let's leave it open-ended. I want the highest and deepest healing for myself as well as for my soul family. As like before, my intention is for everyone that hears this to hold the space of healing and evolution for their entire soul family as well. All right. We'll keep it open-ended. You're wanting the highest and deepest healing for yourself as well as for your soul family. And those who are watching, we're gonna allow some healing to reach you too. This is part of your experience. It's all of our experiences. It's a collective gift for healing and evolution for you and your soul family as well. It's really beautiful. Okay. All right. I'm going to relax and get in the zone here. Okay, Kristi. Highest good. Most meaningful healing I can share with you today, you and your soul family, and we'll make it a collective experience, supporting all those who watch with love, healing for them and their soul families too. Okay. This is what I see. There is a silver marble. It's kind of heavy. Is it silver? Maybe it's made out of some other type of metal. It's got this magnetic vibe to it. And it's at the top of some stairs. The stairs are also made out of metal. And I see that this metallic ball is attracted to going down the stairs, one at a time, okay? Going down the stairs. I'm just watching here. Energetically, it's slow. There's no rush. It's got a rhythm to it. Bump, 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 bump. I mean, it's going down the stairs. And there's no delay between steps. I mean, it's pretty consistent. Guides are saying, why don't we try this again, but slower this time? Slower. Watching ball go down the stairs. Bump. 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 Oh, man. Oh, man. This is like the watching the paint dry kind of thing. Slowing down. Slowing down even still. There's so much time between now that it could be like a minute per step. Now there's so much time in between. We even wonder, did we hear that ball hit the next step? I can't remember when the next step was, or where are we at in this? So now so much time in between that we're kind of losing track of time. We're even losing track of the ball and the steps. All right, I see your energy field, Kristi, and I see what we're accomplishing here. Slowing down, really slowing down to the point we're losing track of time. It feels disorienting when you lose track of time. Sometimes it's for a really good reason, and sometimes there's nothing going in today. It's for one of those reasons. And I'm to bring this slow pace and merge it with your energy field as it is right now. It's not as if it's in a hurry. Okay. This is a totally other experience, okay? So when I step into your energy field, Kristi, which it appeared as though I was in there, it's like a rainforest with lots of colorful birds. It's really colorful, really fresh. There's no real sense of temperature, so it's not too hot. It's not even too cold or anything, because I'm just enjoying this moisture in the air and that fresh sensation and all the colors, and hearing the sounds of the birds. Interesting. I'm bringing this slow space, merging it with this rainforest space, and it's giving you new ideas, actually. So when it merges, something is erupting, and it's bright new ideas. And it comes with golden light, and I see a golden light here, and these aha moments, okay? And it's almost as if your relationship with this rainforest and all the colors and the freshness, it's almost like these new ideas are giving you an opportunity to see, I don't know, totally different landscape, totally different place to be, or things to get yourself involved in. And I don't know why, but I was thinking of a totally opposite space, like a desert scape, not because it's dry and struggling to survive, but because it is so unique. I mean, in a desert, you have very strange plants, right, that survive out there. Really unique wildlife as well. And they have to be cunning. They have to be patient. They have to be, they have to be able to conquer whatever their circumstances for the day. They got to survive, but without the sort of that struggling sensation of survival, but the beautiful, like, wow, I admire these animals for surviving in such a harsh environment. I admire these plants for surviving. Wow, what extraordinary animals and plants that live here in the desert. So the survival doesn't feel like suffering. It feels like, wow, I admire these plants and animals. And it doesn't, though, feel like desert is quite the right vibe. It feels like from rainforest to, I don't know, can't figure it out. Maybe it's not about an outdoor place. Maybe it's an indoor place. You know, when I think of Santa Claus, I think of like this really cute cottagey type house, and everything is really snuggly, and the furniture feels snuggly, and there's a big giant fireplace, and it's just got this warm snuggly effect to it. And I'm going to switch out rainforest with like Santa Claus's house, which is like really big and warm and snuggly and really nice oversized furniture. And it's got kind of an antique effect. And let's see if that vibe's right. Doesn't vibrate. All right. So I ask you, what comes to you about this? It feels like from rainforest to, or maybe we stay in the rainforest. What do you think? You say there is somewhere. It's really hard to describe. It feels like another world, so not like a planet Earth place, not somewhere that would be familiar to us as human beings. It's like, oh, are we gonna play 21 questions? I feel like we're unraveling this mystery. We're gonna have to ask questions to figure out what it kind of is like. You say the primary colors they're kind of different shades of blue and clear. And there is something like an ocean, but there's no salt in it. That's very obvious. When I touch what these colors remind me of, I touch the energy. I get water, and it is not water, and it is not ocean, it's not salty. I don't know, it's more like a chemical, but it's clear, and it's defined as water. It's defined as like a really vast lake, a huge lake, but it doesn't quite seem like an ocean. That it's really big. And there's a beach. It's not particularly warm either. And you really want to walk into this water. And you look strange. You look like you're made out of metallic, something metallic. Like your body is made out of even shimmery metallic. Like fish. They have a shimmery shine to them. But it doesn't necessarily look like fish scales. It looks like skin that shines. It even catches the sunlight. And it's like a sun. It's not as yellowy color, it's more of a white. It's really quiet. And it feels like a place that is for you, your place. A place where you can be. I will say that slow sensation of the ball and the steps, I don't even know if I can do it justice, but I feel it here. I feel like my relationship with time is changing. First, it feels agonizingly slow, like a kid who's super bored is being made to sit down and be silent for an hour. Feels like an eternity. But the more that I let go of my relationship with having to do anything, my relationship with my responsibility to the world, the more I guess I am being. I am just in a place of being. Then I just can be. And it doesn't really require any concept of time. It doesn't really relate. There's no structure to when I need to do anything or be responsible for anyone or even myself. It's definitely meditative, and I don't even want to define it as that. I just want to be still and silent, and I want to be under the water. I even experience that my body I can alter how it weighs, and I can weigh more or weigh less. I don't know how that happens, but I feel like I'm becoming more of a heavy stone, and I am peacefully sitting under the water. And it's really natural to do this. You know, when we stop all these vibrations of day-to-day life, or the vibration of being human, vibration even of earth, vibration of time, vibration of things that we don't even know fill in the blanks of our day, even echoes of memories, and it's constant, you know. But here, when it's almost like you just become still like a stone under the water, and you just hold your breath for a very, very long period of time, but there's no struggle, and all this feels very natural. And it gives you breathing room. Holding your breath for a very long time is natural, and it gives you breathing room. Breathing room from all the sounds of everyday life. And so they show me that you're here in this other world, and then you're here in this world. And again, we're reaching another layer of what can only be described as the manifestation of inner peace, okay? And now I see you, the human, and you are looking at yourself as like a metallic, shiny person whose eyes are closed, just sitting under this liquid. Sitting there. Absolutely no relationship with time. It could be 1,000,000 years. There's no relationship with time. And you still are kind of bouncy, like, that's not realistic. I have things to do. But you want to know how to take this energy concept and integrate it into day-to-day life. And make it fit, make it work. Somehow. You know? As I've been doing this here, Kristi, I will just tell you, I can feel the variations of time, and it's even jarring for me to stay consistent with the way that time is slowing down and the way that time is experienced here as being human, and now this integration process. We're going to achieve this, by the way. And everybody watching, you can participate. Your soul can relate to this stuff too. You can be the one in a nice, slow, timeless place where you can be heavy underwater, right? But you can also understand being human and wanting to find out how to live a quieter, a more timeless life. It's like a meditative inner peace thing, you know? Now that I'm hearing many sides, I'm going to listen for the parts of you, Kristi, that are resistant to this timelessness. I'm really feeling it myself, so we're all going to gain here from this. Okay. The parts of Kristi that are resistant. Okay, one of them is really big, oversized, and intense. And it takes really big steps, okay? I go from here, I go from point A to point B in one step. And when we can move from point A to point B in one step, we are in motion. We're getting things done. Like, we are seeing progress, you know? And sometimes, like, I want point A, I want point B, I want to get there in one day. And then it's like 10 years go by and 1,000 things are happening between point A and point B. And it's like, when will I ever get to point B? Will I ever get there? Why is this now in my way? Why is this now in my way? God, I just want this simple process. So this you and the resistance is a big stepper. I was hearing the Hot Stepper song, but you're a big stepper, okay? Doesn't want all these little steps in between, just want the one big step and then the next one big step. I can go from here to here, and then I can go from here to here, and then I can go from here to here, and then I'm happy. It's kind of like that. All right. So this resistance stepper, the big stepper, is in position, okay? Is ready for the big step. is ready for the big step. It's almost like we're gearing up for Indianapolis 500. We're waiting for it to start and the cars are going vroom, 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 vroom. Like they're getting ready. Nope, not yet. And we're like, hello, hello, somebody, can we please get started? Like, we're all ready. Nope, not yet. Nope. Why am I on the edge of my seat for nothing to happen? So it's like the big steppers. Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready for my big step. Nope, not time yet. So there's the resistance to this timelessness. So what do I do about this? It's resistance to divine time. Boy, that's true. Oh, I get this. I even myself, I feel like this is also really intense for me too. So we're just slowing down time, because divine time is at any time or no time at all. I mean, just we put time in God's hands. And then we put the big stepper in God's hands. We're just going to put the big stepper in God's hands. And that way you don't feel like you're ready for something and nothing is happening. You want to take a big step and it's not time yet. So it's kind of disorienting this inner peace, timeless integration, okay? So big stepper is in God's hands. Boy, that feels a lot better already. A lot better. There's another part of you, and this represents another version of yourself not allowing this just timelessness to happen. But it's not quite in the way that big stepper is. It feels like your whole body is dragging itself on the ground and crying and just reaching for something. There's something, desperately reaching for something, and all you can do is crawl on the ground. You just keep crawling. It's like there's nothing there. It's literally, you're going to crawl forever. You're never going to get to anything. That's very sad, right? Because when you feel that way, you just want to get to something. And it's one of those like harsh riddles that when you desperately want it, you won't get it until you just stop being desperate about it. And then once you finally say, you know what, fine, I don't want this thing anymore, then it'll be knocking at your door. So this part of you literally just crawling, like your body is being like, you're hauling your body, this weighs so much, and you're just trying to get to somebody or something, and nothing is ever there. It's kind of desperate because it's that sensation of please, so please, I need somebody or something, please help me, you know? It's like this, okay? And it's serious. It's like the wounded soldier crawling across a battlefield, desperate for just someone, even someone to hold them as they're dying in the battlefield. It's that level, okay? It's sad. It's full of sadness. It's kind of hard for me to tell you the answer to the riddle is that there's going to be nobody. There's something or someone isn't going to ever exist for this part of yourself. Because only you can exist for yourself in this moment. Otherwise, the moment will live on forever. Until you realize that all you need is yourself for this moment. And that's the one thing that you're not doing. It's kind of like asking the wounded soldier, the only person you need right now is yourself, as you're dying alone on a battlefield. Very hard to say that, but energetically, that's what the balance is saying, okay? Yeah, you don't want to die alone. You don't want to, vibrationally, it's like dying alone on the battlefield, and the only person to hold yourself as you grow cold and distant from human life is you. And you just want a warm hand. But there aren't any warm hands. This is some kind of soul fragment, because as I continue to talk to you about this, I can't be the warm hand for you, but I can help you understand that this was part of the way it was meant to be. And it's kind of a harsh way to die, but it was meant to be this way. And as I continue to express that truth, your soul finds peace in just simply knowing that. And it chooses to stop crawling, and it chooses to spend its last moments holding itself. And you see that part of you turns to golden light and is set free. Feels a lot better. There's still several things here, several layers before this is integrated. Because there's still a buffer. It's like taking two spheres, and now we have the Venn diagram, but they don't want to become one sphere. We have timelessness, we have being human, and there's still resistance, but it's getting so much easier. Even for me, it's like, oh yeah, okay. We got big stepper in God's hands. We set this part of your soul free. It's okay to die alone. I guarantee a lot of our souls have had to die alone in some past life. So we're setting our soul fragments free so that we can embrace that peaceful timelessness inside. And we can just feel it all around our day-to-day life. It feels a lot better. So let's see what next thing comes up here. This is in the timeless world. This is rude. You're in your space. And I'm telling you, it's doing this thing to me where I'm like, I can't breathe. Like, oh, in between being like human and then timeless space and resistance, I feel like I can't breathe. And it's something done to your timeless self, okay? Unexpectedly, it's this underwater creature. And under the liquid, there you are. And you're heavy stone, peaceful. You're not sleeping. You're awake. And you're just not animated. I mean, you're just enjoying the simplicity. And this, like a shark, it's like a whale shark. It looks like an underwater creature. It's massive. And it's coming straight for you. I mean, I'm expecting you to go into its mouth. So let me just see what happens here. Because it's like something comes out of left field and hits you directly in the face. Now you're being eaten. I mean, it's incomprehensible how quick things can change. From super ultra peaceful to, oh my God, I'm being eaten by this random creature. This is my space. What are you doing in my space? How'd you even get here? This is my space. Why is this happening to me now? Why? It's too fast. Things are happening too fast now. Change is happening too fast. Enjoying timelessness, dead. This is not a nice experience. I don't know if you've even died or what's going on here because I can't understand it yet. I'm just still feeling like this is so rude. This is just the rudest thing. How dare you? You're disrupting my place and my infinite time space. Like, where'd you come from? What are you doing? Why are you attacking me? And I just feel this is so rude. Again, I feel like the tightness, resistance. I don't like this feeling. So I have to, in the timeless space, believe it or not, slow down time. And I'd slow time down further than it already is because we reached a place where it felt timeless. But apparently there's still time. And I slow it down so we can see the event in slow motion. And I see you open your eyes and within a few feet of this thing. And you don't think, you react. You instantly become lighter and you push on the ground and push yourself up and literally out of the water. Like you jump out of the water like flying fish. I mean, you just go straight up and out of the water into the sky. And you actually awkwardly slap back down on the water. And that disorients you, but you move your body as quick as you can, and you can even run backward like a crab. And you're quickly on the beach now. And it's really disorienting. So we're going to slow down time in between everything that's happened that we weren't prepared for. We weren't prepared. And we had to react because that's all we had time for was to react. And the reaction ends up saving our life, but it doesn't necessarily feel good. And now I'm disoriented on the beach wondering what the heck happened. This is another weird thing. There's large birds outside that spot you, and they literally instantly, there's two of them that go straight for your face in particular. And you don't have the energy to get up and run. You can't, actually. You just used everything that you had in order to save yourself from that big water creature. And time is different. And I don't know how to explain it, but I see the birds both are in slow motion coming down to you. Slow motion. And as they get closer to you, the slow motion even goes more extreme. So it's almost becoming impossible that they'll ever touch you, that they'll ever reach you. And as time is altered, it gives you time to breathe, time to clear your head, time to catch up with yourself. And interestingly enough, you absorb in this change in your own time. And we're talking about mere moments here. but something changes and you have suddenly the energy you need to get out, escape from these birds. And you find yourself in a cave. And you're in an emotional state and you're exhausted. But this isn't safe either. This cave is also not a safe place. It seemed like the water is pretty safe, but I guess not. It even seemed like this was your own little spiritual space that's being attacked by unexpected visitors. And maybe it's a real place with real animals your soul knows about. Maybe this is a real memory. I just can tell there's what can only be described as very large and fast-moving turtles that have very sharp beaks. And you don't want to be in here, and they're odd. They live in caves. They like dark places. They're dangerous. But you have nowhere to go. And you have no energy left. What's interesting is it seems as though your life is meant to end, but it's like God has another plan, and you will make it. You will make it. You will inevitably make it somehow. And it seems impossible that you're going to make it, but somehow you're going to make it. It's like you're meant to make it. Because you're so worn out, I see you're going to fall asleep in here. And what is weird is that the turtles don't hear you. You just go in the cave and immediately you just pretty much collapse and fall asleep. And you make you don't disrupt. I don't know how they don't hear you, but they don't. And you just sleep. And you sleep for what feels like 5 days. And interestingly enough, there's a strange man that's standing here. It wakes you up. And he asks you if you're okay. He doesn't look anything like you. He looks different. He's hairier, but he's like a humanoid. You don't know how to understand him, but you can tell he's not going to hurt you. Oh man, when you speak, you make really weird, it kind of sounds technological, but it also sounds like screaming sounds, and it's almost unbearable to hear it. But he doesn't seem overwhelmed. You are so worn out, and he can tell that he actually picks you up and carries you. And he walks miles and miles and miles, and you fall asleep. And then he walks even through what's like a jungle area. I mean, we're talking like 50 miles, something impossible. He is strong enough and capable enough to literally carry you and walk without stopping, needing to go to the bathroom or eat anything. And he walks like 50 miles. And he lives alone in a very small, house. It's just a little hut. And he has a bed. And it's also by the water. And it's finally nighttime. And he has a lot of water for you to drink, and he even soaks you in the water at times. He seems to know what you need to recover, but you need a very, very long period of time, because this is so ridiculously extreme of an event for you that you are traumatized. Like, you are in a state of severe trauma. And we're talking like years of time to recover from that. And he takes care of you every day. He does everything that is required to keep you comfortably safe and alive. And he does everything that you need to stay alive. And you're kind of in a coma. You gave him purpose. You gave him purpose. And you sleep, man. I mean, you just sleep and sleep and sleep. And then you don't wake up. And he just keeps taking care of you while you sleep. And you don't know how to wake up. You don't know how to want to either. You don't even know how to really understand what he is doing and why he is doing it. You didn't ask for this, but you do value it, but at the same time, it almost is as if you chose, or it was inevitable that you should have be dead, that you should have died. And so part of you is stuck in a state of I'm dead, and another part is but I'm still alive, and it's kind of stuck there. And he is ridiculously patient and peaceful. He doesn't worry, he doesn't wonder whether you will wake up or not. He just chooses to keep you alive. And I see that his spirit is bright because he has purpose to take care of you. And there's a long conversation in the spirit realm wondering what the decision will be here. Will you wake up in this life or will you not? But nothing is inspired by the spirit realm. It's going to have to be your own soul that is going to decide. And the spirit realm can't do anything like poke your soul with a stick. Like, hey, you want to wake up now? Huh? Or do you want to go back to the spirit realm? What do you want to do? No, they can't do anything like that. It's entirely up to your soul. Interestingly enough, your soul does something else. I see still sleeping, guy takes care of you, still doing that. And you turn into a strange liquid, and the liquid is kind of like this water, but your soul drips into another dimension. Literally drips like water, like a leaky roof. It drips into another dimension. And it lives a lifetime as it was almost like it's not earth and it's not human, but it's something very small, maybe 1 or 2 feet tall at best. And it wasn't born right because I see that its mind isn't clear. It's like its mind it's got brain damage or something. It seems to need extra care. And you sleep in this lifetime as well. And you basically are taking care of your entire life. And you don't know any different. Because you don't have the mental capacity to really understand. And there's brain damage, and you're just kind of asleep in this life as well. And it was actually quite a nice life, and you felt nurtured and taken care of. It really parallels exactly what is going on in this other place where you are nurtured and taken care of, and you don't have the mental means to really interpret that. So you seem to understand in this other life that you are dying, and you shed some tears and thank all of those souls that took care of you in that life. You do. Because when you die, you seem to know something is different, and you feel very nervous, anxious. It feels like uncertainty, and it scares you. And you're surrounded by many who love you and who have been there to help you in your life, and you have a means to finally get this. And you send vibrations of love from your heart to all of them and thank them for helping you. And this life is a bit of a rubber band that slingshots you back into the other body, and your eyes open and you wake up and you look around and you see I think he would terrify me if I saw this man in human world. He's strange looking, okay? I don't know how to understand his appearance. He looks like a worm. He kind of has a skeleton-like head. He's white with black in his eyes and in his mouth and his nose. He's kind of a parasite looking thing. He's very loving. You're startled because this is an unfamiliar place. And you finally waking up. You know, this being is basically in love with you. But it doesn't translate to, it would know that it was in love with you. It just knew that it had a duty to take care of you, and it wanted to do that, and it was grateful for that. But I can tell that this being is in love with you. And you are very familiar with this sound. It seems to make a vibrational sound. You're very familiar with that sound. And something is starting to come to a recall as to the events that took place, and now who had come when you woke up in that cave. And now here you are in this safe place. And you seem to know that you've been taken care of by this thing that isn't here to hurt you. And you shed some tears, and it's sort of like in awe just to see you animated. Doesn't even know what to do. Doesn't even know what to make of it. Because hasn't gotten to see this. Was taking care of you and you were still. And now you're moving. Believe it or not, I actually see this thing poops, okay? He poops. And because he doesn't know what to do and he just poops, okay? It seemed kind of like a natural response. And you hug him. And he just keeps making these vibrational sounds. He doesn't have any more poop left, by the way, so he doesn't know what to do. And you comfort him. And I see you both now have purpose. And I see you both in a way cling to one another, because you have no desire in your heart to go back to where you were. And it's almost like this creature doesn't know how to be without you. And you're content to be with this creature. And you're two different beings. It's almost like you chose an inhabited planet and you just chose to have a peaceful life, or maybe you're just on vacation, I don't know, but you found one another. And you found peace in one another. And you found purpose with one another. And I see this life is creating a beautiful star in your memories. And now I see the stars returning to you, Kristi, in your heart. And it's almost like, what is the meaning of life? At one time, the meaning of life was to be still under this liquid and just enjoy meditation for however long you meditated. But that wasn't what you could define as God's plan or the universal magnetic attraction that manifested. Because all along, your souls were magnetically moving towards one another, and it created a series of events so that would happen. And you intuitively lived the perfect lifetime to slingshot yourself back so that you could have an answer to awaken or to officially sleep and move on. And the gratitude you had in that other life for all those who took care of you is blossoming in that parallel with this being that was taking care of you. And the gratitude continued to live on in you and in this being. And now in you here on earth. And you're full of gratitude. And the events will happen in divine time. Whether you make the step or not, it's like everything is guided and or magnetically attracted. And just let things sort of happen. And be at peace with the way things happen. And trust in the way things happen. Yeah. Wow. That's what I meant to share about that. But I'm going to go and we're going to take a look at your energy field from another angle. And we're going to see what we find. I feel like you have adopted a sensation of serenity from this journey. And we all are adopting a sensation of serenity, which is like a sound that we emanate from inside. Okay, what else am I called to share here with Kristi today? And soul family. And everyone as a whole. Okay. There is something of a vulnerability because I see you actually climbing some stairs and they're purple. And you're going up the stairs and you're having a hard time opening your eyes to some faces in particular. And these faces, you need to open your eyes and look into their eyes and see them. You need to see them again as you are as human and them as spiritual energy. And you're kind of resistant and you kind of, I guess, turn your head away because sometimes emotional pain can almost feel like way too difficult. And when the love is real and the love is vulnerable and the love hurts even, it's almost like it's too vulnerable to open my eyes to see that love. You know what this reminds me of? I recently did this. And it's good that we do this because sometimes I forget to do stuff. And then when I remember, it's like, oh my gosh, I should be doing that. And sometimes we need help, right, in life. But we get so in the zone of whatever we're doing and we're in the motion of this right now. And what I did was I envisioned a familiar place that's really peaceful and beautiful. And I was sitting there by this tree and I made a conscious choice and that's the intention, followed through with the intention. And I chose to say, I welcome people in to help me. And I'm just so used to being enough to help myself. Like I don't do that. And I was surprised by how emotionally vulnerable that was for me. Because I started to see person, all these people started to appear here by my tree. And I started to bawl my eyes out. And it was like, my gosh, I had created a resistance to letting that in. And I needed to remind myself that, like, I'm not just me in my own world. Like, we're us in this world, in a world of each other. And it's strange how that genuine love, it can make us not even realize that we are putting a shield up for it. And then when we choose to acknowledge it and then we just cry and it's like, my gosh, why was that so hard? This is kind of one of those things, like it's one of those strange, difficult things, because is it really difficult? Yes, and then no, it's not actually. Because my God, it's going to feel so much better. Yeah, you're stopped on the stairs and you don't want to go all the way up to the top. And I encourage you to just keep going. Like, go all the way. And it's almost like you lose your breath halfway up the stairs, and me pushing you to keep going. It's like, but I can't even breathe. Like, just slow down. Let me have a break. And for some reason, to break is actually to resist. And so all of these, it's like a manifestation of the resistance is causing you to think that you're exhausted and out of breath when you're actually not. You need to just keep going all the way up to the top. I keep pushing you and pushing you there. Like, the energies are not going to take no for an answer, but you have to put forth the effort. Like, you have to move your body and your feet. Like, you have to get up those stairs. You have to. It kind of reminds me of the metallic you that, you have to jump out of the water. Now you have to get away from these birds. Now you have to get to this other place. Like, now you're sleeping. Like, you had to keep going, And there's no ability to slow the time down. You have to find the charisma to keep going. Just push yourself. You're almost there. It's another image that comes to me is like giving birth, and what the laboring process is laboring. And you're almost there, and you just don't have the energy to do anymore, but you have to keep going. Like, you don't get to rest. You don't get to say no. You have to keep going, And you have to keep going. And now you're at the top. My gosh, you did it. You just collapse. And you feel like you left a part of yourself behind. Because not all the parts of you were able to just go. So there, I still see a sort of like an echo of yourself still like midway there. I say, just set her free. And just set her free. She's the part of you that you get to set free. And now you're all the parts of you that are ready for the next step. You say, but I don't know how to understand that. I say, don't try to understand it. That, like, we have so many parts of our inner collective that are coming and going as they please. And don't feel like you've lost anything. Actually, you just resurrected a part of yourself, so you now can rehabilitate in heaven, and then some aspect will return. Like, just let this stuff flow. Just trust in the process. So you say, oh, I like that. And you send lots of light to, she's an echo of yourself, and you welcome her to go into the light and to enjoy peace. And she smiles and giggles and jumps up and down. She looks like a little girl, and she says, yay, hooray! And she jumps in the air, and a bunch of birds, like little like white birds, come, and they actually grip her clothes, and there's like 1,000 of them. It's the weirdest thing. They just come and they just carry her off to heaven, and she's laughing hysterically. And it's like, wow, who would have thought? That's hilarious. You say, oh, weird. I feel like my inner child is laughing. I feel happy inside. I say, yeah, that's because you're also with her. She is you and you are her. Like, this stuff happens all over the universe, these parallels. You say, wow, I feel a lot better now. And there's no real resistance in looking at faces of loved ones that you've lost or anything like that. Actually, you feel cheerful and content and safe. And nothing feels painfully emotional. It feels welcoming and new. And you want to be done with these staircases. Like, you just want to be in a peaceful place. And we create a porch swing, actually. And it's perfect. It's just the perfect porch swing. It's like a weird basket swing. And it's fun. It's like being a little human-sized bird's nest. And you're just in this basket swing and you're having a good time. And it feels good. And I see this soulmate from that life start to appear beside you. And he loves you very much and he hugs you for a really long time and you just start to cry. Say, why do we have to be so different? And he says, but we are so much the same. And you just laugh, both of you, you both hold each other and laugh and just cry. And it's just like this warm, weird embrace of just like, this is nice. And I see that you find contentment and peace in your heart. And you feel like so much more yourself. If that makes sense. I'd say contentment. You feel like you have a new edge with the sensation of contentment and joy about life and living and all the different ways that living happens. And living isn't just being alive, it's the experiences you have while you're alive and the moments you share with other souls and the memories you build and the parallel moments. And it's all interconnected. Yeah, that was really awesome, Kristi. Thank you. Man, that was really nice. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing with us. And thank you, everybody, for your kind comments, love and support of my clients. I hope you all have a very beautiful rest of your day.